I was charged $680 for a 30 minutes online medical checkup. Is this normal? Due to my concern of possibly personal info, I removed my initial content. Even with deductibles, the prices charged to insurance companies get adjusted down, e.g. a $680 becomes $100 or whatever because the insurance company agreed to that rate. Did that $680 go through insurance first? What you're learning is that annual physicals, well visits, require you to be well from an insurance billing standpoint. Yes, I know it's crazy, but that's the way the system works. As soon as you bring up an issue or a problem is identified, then the complexity goes up and the visit is no longer an annual well visit. Thus, the insurance coverage under which this is billed may change. My wife was told to not ask any questions beyond her physical annual checkup or it would not be covered because that appointment would go past what is considered a checkup, and would be considered a second appointment and billed for it. If you discuss a medical condition or are diagnosed with a condition at an appointment, it is no longer a physical. Your free annual physical is just to confirm wellness and includes only a basic exam and a few basic tests, like blood pressure. Diagnostic and consulting appointments are billed differently. If anything, telehealth consultations are usually cheaper than going to see a doctor in person. Definitely a rip-off. Isn't this where one could ask for an itemized list and the codes? Healthcare in the United States is a scam. Don't talk to your doctor, talk to billing. If there is a patient advocate, talk to them too. If nothing budges, many states have offices that assist with that or even write to your representative. $630 for an online appointment is not normal or acceptable. This mess Americans have is because people are so opposed to universal healthcare. In a capitalist system you don't get more for free, which is what you seem to want. You brought other issues into play, then think it should be free to take more time to discuss. If you don't like the system, we have woke to change it. Do you have insurance? Is the $680 the gross visit cost before any discounts and payments from insurance are applied? What M or CPT codes were used? That sounds like a very high bill for a virtual visit. Always and only pay what your EOB says you owe, never what the doctor office says you owe. I was charged for one of these Zoom calls that was mandatory before I could an appointment. I'll sum it up for you as best I can. After sitting and watching the doctor try to figure out how to turn her mic on, she then told me there's nothing I can do over a Zoom call, so we'll need to schedule you an appointment. That didn't not feel like a $200 probably more doctor visit. The billing side of the medical field is a joke to say the least. That was also the last time I ever spoke to the doctor and switched location and physician. 2 years ago, after my yearly physical under Medicare, I got a $1,000 bill for lab work and I was shocked at the amount and the fact that I got a bill in the first place. I looked into it and it was because my insurance information was missing and this was corrected. I then thought about families without insurance. How do they get by? The American healthcare might be the best, but the cost for it is beyond ridiculous. We must do better. Wild. I did get billed once during annual health screening required to receive a discount for insurance. I got charged because I brought up some groin pain I was having. They stopped me mid-sentence and were nice enough to tell me that if I continued it would be charged as a new visit. I said that was fine because it was definitely concerning. So it's definitely a thing that happens. Those amounts seem a little wild to me though. I'd be curious about disputing this on the grounds of a billing coding issue. If the wellness exam portion is voided by asking a question, they should return that money. If they don't want to return that money, would however much time they spent on your no longer existent rash justify whatever examination code they used for $300? Look up the CPT codes and modifiers they used. For instance, if they billed a moderately complex 99,203 new patient exam for the wellness, did they overbill a 99,213 exam for the rash? Can they bill 2 examinations on the same day? Tell me you have a high deductible plan without telling me you have a high deductible plan. Ask if they have a cash price. If they addressed a problem, it wasn't a checkup. Even though your rash was resolved, that was still a problem that was addressed. Same thing with your other experience. You brought up concerns, it's not a checkup anymore. It's a problem visit, and you get charged more. $680 for 30 minutes checkup clearly will be seen as a scam in any sane place. Checkups should be paid by your insurance and shouldn't cost anywhere near that. Did your doc need a third Lambo for his collection? Or maybe another 5K SQF mansion? Yes, it's normal. Doctor has consulted your problem if you have addressed issue besides the annual checkup. Annual checkup is only checklists of what Obamacare has defined as routine annual checkup. If you asked other issues that's not in the list and seek care, then the doctor can bill for other medical code. Welcome to USA, the land of medical debt and the home of gaslighting. This is not uncommon. Whenever you are in medical facilities or virtual service, you must make sure to ask questions if it's covered or not, even if it's uncomfortable conversation, even if medical provider deflect your billing questions, which they will by saying I don't know billing. At the end of days, you are the one responsible for the payment, not hospital or medical provider. Don't pay the bill. If they send it to collection agency, saying it was supposed to be preventive care, let collection agents deal with insurance company or hospital. They played a game with you, let them deal their own mess. In the first case, they're correct. Your annual wellness visit is only for specific things. If you ask a question about a symptom or concern, it goes from a wellness visit to a regular appointment, and you have to pay your copay or whatever your cost-sharing obligation is. How else are doctors' wives supposed to pay for all that wine they drink? Hospital? You went through a hospital for a telehealth appointment? It's a bit revolting, but you'd have to start asking the questions if the concerns you're about to talk about are covered. It's a minefield for something that should be more natural. Call and complain to the hospital. Keep going up the chain until you get to someone who wears a fancy suit to work. Gather names. File a complaint with BBB, look up the hospital's parent company and write a letter explaining your side and the ridiculous bill you got, and name everyone you talked to along the way. This is how I got my $800 debt forgiven when I was given the worst service of my life. When it happened to me, it took me days and hours of me and provider to make calls, fill out the forms so that the insurance covers it. But insurance still did not cover the bill. The lab billed me $120 instead of initially billed $700, because they knew I wouldn't pay it without insurance, so they gave me a discount. I still did not pay even that $120. It was not reflected anywhere, went to collections, but now it's not even reflected on collector's website. And I just gave up with medical system in the USA. This exact same thing happened to me. Annual check, and I asked about something related to a skin rash and that was it. They charged me $90 over the amount covered by the insurance. Nobody would work with me to change the codes. I ended up not paying any of it since they don't have my insurance. You should have been notified this was a billable event. The notion of diagnosing a heart condition over online consult is insane. Insane. And I've had medical bills that could easily stretch into the 7 figures. 2 skull fractures, nearly killed me. Mail a notice of dispute letter to the billing department. Put in polite words what I said above. Don't pay. If they refuse to settle for pennies on the dollar, not just half, sue them in small claims court. You'll find that bill vanish in a heartbeat. It's normal. It's also awful, and arguably unlawful. Fight back. Don't pay it.